March 18, 1314. After 7 years of imprisonment and torture, Grand Master Jacques de Molay is executed as an unrepentant heretic. With his dying breath, it is said de Molay put a curse on the Pope and the King.
In a year, I shall see you both in a tribunal before God.
Within a year, both are dead. After 200 years, the Templars are no more. Their castles are taken, and their great wealth mysteriously disappears.
The Templar treasure that King Philip le Bel had seen with his own eyes, by the time his men got there to take possession of it, it had vanished.
Nobody knows what happened to the wealth of the Templars after they were suppressed. It has been suggested that 2 great carts of treasure were carted out of Paris right before their final arrest on Friday the 13th.
And from that point onwards, the Templars vanished from the record.
We know that the Templars survived, or at least that some Templars survived. They had adequate warning every place but France. And even in France, we know that some Templars escaped.
One theory claims a few Templars slipped out of Paris with their treasure. To this day, its whereabouts remain unknown, but a clue survives. This is Rosslyn Chapel near Edinburgh, Scotland. In the thriller The Da Vinci Code, the chapel appears as one of the key clues to the hiding place of the Holy Grail. A medieval church and a lost treasure may be linked by one man.
Rosslyn Chapel, this magnificent building, was built in 1446 by William Sinclair.
Sir William Sinclair is an enigmatic figure. Though he built the chapel almost 150 years after the Templars were officially disbanded, it has a tremendous amount of Templar symbolism. 2 riders on a single horse is a symbol of the Templars. It appears in Rosslyn. As does the Templar seal, the Lamb of God holding a cross. Throughout the chapel, mysterious engravings, symbols, signs, faces.
Encoded very cleverly within its artwork are little triggers that say, look closer, there are hidden messages here.
The predominant floor plan for medieval churches was the shape of the cross, but Rosslyn's design appears to be modeled after another famous structure. The chapel's layout and architecture give a clue to its inspiration, with 14 freestanding pillars, including 2 majestic pillars in front. It resembles the ancient Jewish temple described in the Bible. William Sinclair apparently built his chapel to match the original Jerusalem temple. The ruins of this ancient structure was the site of the first headquarters of the Knights Templar.
In Herod's temple itself, there were 3 floors beneath the temple floor. If this nave of the choir is Herod's temple, then you have to take that little bit of a leap and say there are 3 floors beneath here. There is no evidence for that. There's been no proof of it, no record of it. But if you can believe the story so far, then it's not too difficult to go that extra step.
They may hold one of the world's greatest mysteries, the Templar treasure, the Holy Grail, or perhaps nothing at all.
The secret has been speculated on, anything from the mummified head of Christ to the Ark of the Covenant to possibly scrolls from the Temple of Jerusalem, but no concrete archival evidence yet has emerged to prove anything like that. And they have yet to be fully excavated.
But exploratory excavation has been ruled out for fear the old chapel would collapse. The vaults may simply be tombs, or they may be a treasure trove. The chapel may simply be an eccentric church, or it may be a replica of the Temple of Jerusalem. Rosslyn remains an unsolved mystery, like so much of the Templars' legacy. Yet evidence suggests someone knows. A mysterious international organization with its own secrets. Some claim the fabulous treasure of the Knights Templar is just waiting to be dug up. Skeptics say the fortune doesn't exist. Others say the treasure is closely guarded by modern Templars.
The Knight Templars have always existed. I think probably you'll find that they never actually ceased to exist. They just went underground.
Some believe they flourished for centuries in a brotherhood as powerful as it is secret. Clues to its identity lie in plain sight in Rosslyn Chapel.
In the Lady Chapel behind me, we have carvings which are at the bottom of the niches of the statue holders. And these have hand positionings which are quite significant. The hand on the chest, or the feet splayed out, hands on knees.
All signs of the Freemasons, one of the largest and oldest fraternal organizations in the world. 14 American presidents have been Freemasons. Many of the founding fathers, including George Washington, were Freemasons. The Freemasons keep their rituals secret, but over the years, illustrations and descriptions have leaked out. They show an uncanny resemblance to the Knights Templar. Nowhere is that connection more clear than on the walls of Rosslyn Chapel. A figure wearing the distinctive cross of a Templar holds a rope tied around the neck of a blindfolded man. Nearly identical to the Freemasons' initiation ritual. Other similarities abound. A Freemason ritual describes the excavation of the ancient Jewish temple, the first headquarters of the Knights Templar. The Templars and Masons are even linked by blood. Before he took a vow of celibacy, Templar founder Hugh de Payon had married into the Sinclair family of Scotland. 300 years later, William Sinclair built Rosslyn Chapel, and in the 18th century, the Sinclairs were listed as the hereditary leaders of Scottish Freemasonry. Some Freemason organizations use Templar code words and symbols. One of the highest ranks in the Masonic hierarchy is Knight Templar. The Freemason youth organization is called Demolay, the name of the last Grand Master of the Knights Templar. Perhaps the Freemasons are modern Templars, or maybe it's all just a coincidence.
There's all kinds of people who pattern their spiritual, social, and structural activity of their groups on these Templar ideals.
Thou art a warrior of God.
The walls of Rosslyn Chapel suggest the Templars were here 150 years after they supposedly vanished. The Rosslyn Chapel hold a greater secret. The key to the Templars' rumored treasure, the Holy Grail.
Rosslyn, I think, is an enigma. I think Rosslyn was probably designed to be an enigma.
No one has cracked the code of Rosslyn. No one has found hidden treasure. And no one can prove the Templars were ever here. "700 years after their demise, the Knights Templar remain a mystery. Their secrets still hidden, their codes unbroken. Some say there's nothing to find.
They found no great secret on the Temple Mount. They bequeathed no great secret to the Masons. But the Templars were monks who were knights. But that was the limit of their mystery.
What we do know is that the Knights Templar were the holiest warriors in Christendom, yet they were punished for heresy. They were shrewd and innovative businessmen, but their methods created powerful enemies. They were fabulously wealthy, but their fortune disappeared with them. They were rumored to possess an explosive secret, and there is a cottage industry of conspiracy theorists and best-selling novels that question if that secret is still guarded today.
The answer is we simply don't know. No matter what anyone tells you, we simply do not know.
There is always going to be a secret of the Templars because so little is known about their fate. And as long as that past remains shrouded in mystery, there will always be secrets to find.
The Knights Templar had a secret, that much we know. But would it still be as earth-shaking today? We may never know. 700 years after the Templars disappeared, their elusive secret is just as enticing. And it is that mystery that may allow the legend of the Knights Templar to live forever.